Hi and welcome to another Wednesday with Wilna. I'm back after taking a week break and I have a very fun page today, very fun video actually. So first of all, we're going to be starting off by making something very cool, little embellishments for the layout. So I created these lovely rose and flourish cut files, and I wanted to use something more three-dimensional with it, and I found these molds at Michael's. It's Mod Podge that makes them, and you can find them with the Mod Podge stuff, and I think they are around $11 for a little mold like this. And then you buy the hot gun sticks, and it's called High Temp Mini Mod Melts, and mine is white. So you just put it into your hot glue gun, and then you fill up the little molds with the melt, I guess. You get different colors, but I wanted a white because I was thinking then I can actually paint it. And I just decided to keep on going until a whole stick is gone. So this is how simple it is. Then you leave it in there for 10 minutes and you pop them out, and they're beautiful little flowers, and I just absolutely love it. So that's a very nice way to make some embellishments for a layout, a card or anything. I love making these little embellishments because I can never have enough epoxy flowers, so it's a very nice idea to be able to make them yourself. So here you can see the finished product. I love the rough edges, and here you can see them with some of the Studio Calico Underground Kit embellishments, and I'm going to be spray painting those little colored ones white, and that didn't work well, so I'll show you what I did. But in the end I just wanted some white flowers. So in starting my layout, I am using the book page that was in the kit, and I'm going to adhere it to my just a white American Crafts heavyweight cardstock. So I'm always out of tape whenever I do a video. I think it's like clockwork. My tape runs out on camera. So while I'm looking for that, let me just talk a little bit about the cut files that I made. You can see on the edge of the video screen there's some pink ones. I colored these ones pink in the Silhouette software, and I cut them out with a little white border. I have a little video on my blog that you can just see exactly how I did that. I also decided this month to make Photoshop brushes with my digital files. And I have a little video that on my blog as well, the link, how you can see how you load it into Photoshop and how easy it is to work with it. So I'm just adhering that book page there, and now I'm going to be using that little silk screen that came with the Underground kit. So they were so clever, and it's self-adhesive, so it just sticks down, but it's very lightly, so you can pick it up again. And the thing with what is a silk screen? First of all, a silk screen is a piece of fabric. It's almost like a mesh, and you can squeeze with a squeegee. You can see my squeegee just next to the page. You squeeze some paint through the mesh, but the gray areas is masked off, so you won't be able to get paint through those areas. So the white pieces will be colored, and the gray pieces will be masked out. So I'll show you. So I'm just adhering some washi tape bottom and top just to protect my page from the yellow paint. I'm using Liquitex heavyweight acrylic, and now I'm just going to lightly draw it over, and then I'm going to squeeze it through. You can see you do it lightly first, and then you can apply some pressure. And once you take off the little silkscreen, you'll see how beautiful it worked. So silkscreen is actually a medium to create more than one layout or artwork with the same image. A lot of artists, it's a wonderful artistic medium. It's a way to, you can see there how perfectly it worked. It's a wonderful artistic medium to create artwork. If you want to do more than one, if you want to create a series like 100, then silkscreen is wonderful. It's also a preferred way to print t-shirts, and I did a lot of silkscreen in art school. I love it, and to work in such a small scale is actually quite fascinating. So this gave me a wonderful idea. I'm really contemplating in doing art class 3, and I'm gonna have a whole chapter, I think, on doing silkscreen. So that's gonna be lots and lots of fun. I went to Michael's yesterday and I bought a little squeegee and I bought a little silkscreen. So I'm very eager to start playing with it. I'm just drying the paint. The other thing with silkscreen, it really spreads your paint super thin, so it dries rather quickly. And I'm going to be silkscreening again the same little template, and I'm just going to position it down and to the left of the one that you see there in yellow. Some days it's just so hard to make a video or voiceover in this house. There's all sorts of things happening. The phone is ringing, the dogs are barking, the children are making noises, and hopefully I can record it now in one piece. So you can see I'm positioning it again to make like a diamond formation. And I'm going to just add a piece of paper to the top of the silkscreen. And again, I'm doing this to protect my layout from paint and not to adhere the silkscreen to the page because it's self-adhesive. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the pink portrait paint, again Liquitex, and I'm just going to squeeze it through with the squeegee. Now the squeegee you can just rinse off with water, and you can use the silkscreen quite a few times. So if you want to make a series of cards, it will be awesome to do. And that's the thing. I think the squeegee is a little big and the format a little small, but you can manage. And it works like a charm. It's fantastic. So I'm just using a paper towel and just scraping off the paint off the squeegee, and you can rinse it under warm water, and then it's all clean. And removing the little silkscreen again, and it made a perfect little print. So I'm so happy with that. And that's all I'm going to be doing with the silkscreen. So you can either quickly rinse it off. It will lose its adhesiveness, I think, if you put it under water, or you can just use it again and see how it goes. But the acrylic paint will, I think, clog it up a little bit. So I spray painted that little grid also from the Underground kit, just white. And now I have to decide which photograph I want to use. And I think I'm going with the colored one where you can see top right of my photograph. I'm just going to clean it out a little bit or dry it out, and the grid didn't really spray paint that well, so I'm going to be painting it with acrylic paint. I'll show you. But first of all, I'm going to make a little template with a cut off piece of paper to determine, because I want to cut my photograph also in a diamond shape. So I'm just drawing more or less where I think the yellow diamond shape will be. And now I'm going to take the actual little silk screen and I'm going to be marking through it with pencil, just making a little and there you can see the marks, so now I know where to cut. So I'm just going to cut with the big scissors, and there's the little diamond shaped, very basic, and I'm going to place it over my photograph and just cut it out. And I'm not afraid because I printed 102 photos of this photo shoot that I did with my girls in the 4 leaves, so I have lots and lots of beautiful photos to scrapbook. So there you can see the cut files that you can find on iHeartStudio, and this is special because I made the cut files and I made them into Photoshop brushes as well, and these ones I printed in pink. I colored them in pink in the Silhouette software and printed them out and used the print and cut feature, and I show you in a little video, the second video on my blog, exactly how I did that. There you can see the roses that we made right in the beginning of the video, and now I'm looking, maybe I'm deciding on a different cut file, but in the end I loved that one. I just absolutely love it, and I think it will make a beautiful cut file if you actually cut the black parts out. It will be awesome. The Dream Big is also part of a cut file set. I made 3 sets this week. I made the flourishes, then words and flourishes like the Dream Big, and then just the words. And I made a bundle that you can buy them for a little cheaper. So I'm using some Martha Stewart acrylic paint, and I'm just painting the flowers white because they didn't spray paint as opaque as I hoped. So opaque meaning dark or dense. So the more transparent something is, the lighter it is, the more opaque it is, the darker it is. So and I'm saying that not just for you, I'm saying it for me too. Right, so while I'm painting this little grid, I don't know if you can see it, but the paint is actually splattering on my page, and I thought, wow, I actually like that a lot. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be splattering some paint on my page. This is a typical example of how when you work at something, how it might work. So look what I'm doing now. I'm taking paint, and then I'm taking the grid, and I'm moving my paintbrush over it so that it makes splatters underneath it. Can you see it on the page itself? It creates this beautiful little white texture, and when it dried it looked like actual paint thingies there. I don't know, people of the English language, I don't know, you would maybe be able to describe it better for me, but I just love it. I just love the texture of it, and that's a little serendipity that I thoroughly enjoyed with this layout. So I'm adding photo corners to the corners of my photo, and that one was a little big, so I did cut it smaller. And honestly, I enjoyed the process of this layout tremendously. I enjoyed every part of it. I enjoyed making the little embellishments. I enjoyed doing the silk screen, the texture of the white. That little grid is so cute, so I'm just adding some hot glue there, just adhering it. And now I'm going to be adhering the cut file. And of course you can print it any color. I think it would have been beautiful if you could do it a little bit more orange. I think the photograph inspired the colors that I'm using, the yellow leaves with her pink sweater and her white scarf, and the softness of it. I really enjoyed that. And now I'm just in the process of deciding where to add all my little embellishments. And I think because they're also white, they just add to the soft and romantic feeling of the layout, and it doesn't overwhelm it. So I think that's the one thing that I really love about this layout in total, is just the softness and the textures of it without being overwhelming. So I'm opening a packet of, I think it's Notes and Things, little tag, lots of tags in that one embellishment pack, which is beautiful. You can see all those lovely tags. And I'm looking for a tag to put behind the Dream Big, because it's disappearing a little bit on the background. And I didn't want to use a tag that's too big, because otherwise it covers the mesh, and I want to see that little grid mesh that we painted. So just adhering quickly with a little bit of hot glue. And then I decided that I'll draw on the Dream Big cut file to make it stand out a little bit more. I think in retrospect I should have just printed it in black and used the print and cut feature to cut it out. That would have been beautiful. But, you know, going with the flow, I just decided to just draw it. So I'm going to just draw the edges in with a pen. I'm going to really fast forward this quickly so you can see. I say I'm drawing in the edges, but I'm doing the outlines. I don't know exactly how to formulate what I'm doing here. When I do this kind of tracing, I do shake a little bit, and I found that when I hold my breath, it helps a little. So I'll take a deep breath, and then I'll just do my lines, and then breathe again, and remember to you know, then I don't shake as much. I don't know, it's weird, but at least the lines are semi straight, but you'll see they're a little crooked. But I've never preached perfection anyway. So I'm just adhering the title with a little bit of hot glue, and then I wanted to add that piece of cut file there somewhere, and I'm just going to slot it in right there. And because it's white on white, it will disappear a little bit, which is okay. And I saw a couple of beautiful layouts that use the silk screen in this fashion, and I think I was inspired by those layouts where two different colors and the diamond shape form. So I really want to credit the designers and lovely pages on Studio Calico for this idea. And I'm using my Precision pen by American Crafts, Becky Higgins Project Life pens, and it stopped working at some stage, and then I used another one. I wasn't sure if there was some ink or paint or something that got on the tip. So I'll see tomorrow if the pen writes again, because it can't be empty. So you can see I'm doing my journaling also in a diamond format. And I did a diamond layout in the art and design class, and if there's any of the students in that class that's watching this video, you'll know exactly which one I'm talking about in the week 1 where we used grids. So this is also a way to use the grid idea, but just turn it a little bit so it's more diamond shaped, but it's still grids in its essence. So yeah, that's where I decided maybe I should get a different pen. And the layout is almost done. I think the doodle or the outline on the Dream Big cut file and the journaling goes together rather nicely. And as I was writing this, I was thinking that I'm so happy with this layout. So I'm very, very satisfied with it. And I wanted the journaling to line up with the bottom of the book page. So that's why I added another line. I wasn't exactly sure what I'm going to write there. So I just wrote the date and my name and a heart, of course. Oh, and a butterfly. Also from Notes and Things. And I just felt that the colors are perfect for this layout. It worked perfectly with the layout, that specific butterfly. So I think all in all, I used a lot of techniques and ideas on this layout. And I'm just going to mount it to this beautiful polka dot page by Shamel. And I love this paper. She's got the most beautiful papers in her collection. So if you haven't seen it, just check it out. It's really, really lovely. And even the journaling that's light and dark made me happy for some reason. Maybe today was just a very easy to please kind of day for me. So yeah, I don't have those very often. So I'm just adhering it, and now I'm just going to distress the edges a little bit to see a bit more of the polka dots. That's actually all. And then it's done. And thank you so much for watching another video, and please watch the other video where I show you how to color the cut files. And thank you for supporting me through iHeartStudio, and I'll hope that I'll see you next week again with a brand new video and lots of plans for the future. And here you can see the details of the layout, and like I said, one of my favorite layouts. I just love it. Maybe it's because of the beautiful photograph of Tia. Okay, I'll see you next week. Bye bye.